Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Wonderful. We are just having a part 2 of last week's message, which is powers from my father's house. How was today's service for you, like in person?
Personally, I think for lack of a better term, I would say that it's been very, very eye-opening. It's been very, very insightful. We are really graced to be under the ministration of Pastor Elijah Kofi King. Yes, the message is absolutely powerful and really eye-opening, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like, for how long have you followed the ministry of the servant of God?
I think it's now about 4 years, 4 to 5 years.
4 to 5 years. And how has the ministry of the servant of God impacted your spiritual life?
Well, truthfully speaking, it's been transformational. I think I am not the same way that I came to learn about the Word of God and how I apply it today, as in the time before I came to this ministry.
So in other ways, the reference of your encounter with the servant of God is your own life in person.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We thank God for you. We thank God for you. There are people who are watching online right now as I speak to you. What advice can you give them as they keep following the servant of God via YouTube and these other channels?
The advice that I would give them is to partner and support the man of God, because his ministration is not only for ourselves, it is for our children, our children's children. If there is anything that we can do, is just to simply support him and help in any way that we can to make sure that the ministry grows.
We thank God for you and we hope to have you soon again.
Let's do.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon, thank you.
Wonderful. We're just from having a very wonderful and prophetic service. How was the service today?
Amazing.
We believe today our spiritual father was ministering about powers from your father's house, part 2. How did the message of the servant of God impact you today?
Well, first things first, I missed the first part, so I was just catching up, but I did catch up because he went back, did like a recap of the last week part of it, and I must say it was quite deep and very emotional, because most of the things that he mentioned, these are issues that you can relate to. So you begin to notice that there's a pattern. And in most cases, you won't even know that this is a curse. You probably be thinking that it's maybe it's just a normal occurrence, it's just natural. But then when he mentioned, when you begin to see certain things, then you know that you're operating under a certain curse. Yes.
Okay, so for how long have you followed the ministry of the man of God?
I've been here for 4 years.
For 4 years. How has the ministry of the servant of God impacted your spiritual life from the day you became a follower of his ministry?
When I started Fire Nation, how did I even start? Broken, on the verge of divorce. I was one of those people that didn't even understand his ministry. I didn't know, and I think I was actually I came by default.
By default?
Yes.
Wow. So for those that are following him, those that maybe don't believe in the ministry of the man of God, just like you did, and today you can tell us, you can stand here and tell us that the reference of what that man of God carries is your life, yourself.
I'm actually, personally, I'm a true testimony myself, because even when I entered church, I didn't enter church believing anything. I didn't enter church with anything. But when I look at my life now and from where I am today, I'm actually a true testimony myself, including my family. My marriage is restored. I'm happy.
Yeah. So what advice can you give to someone who is maybe watching you now, who thinks what you were thinking when you came, who feels exactly what you were feeling the time when you became a part and a follower of this ministry? What encouragement can you give those who are following online?
I don't want to give anybody any encouragement. I don't want to even talk about see, in this life, if you force someone, they don't know what they're entering into. And you see, when it comes to spiritual matters, it's not a bed of roses. There are thorns. There's going to be hard times. You'll be tested. Because if it's this God that you seek, you have to be tested. There'll be pain, there'll be tears. What matters is your faith. Do you really trust this God? And are you able to focus and just maintain from day one, I'm going to look forward and not look elsewhere? So it's not a forcing issue. It's where you are at in this life. What do you want in your life? It's not an encouragement. It's you. I always tell people that people that come close to me, I always say, in fact, when the man of God prophesies to you, you really need to be on your 2 feet. It's not for you to go and sleep and say, the man of God will pray for me. It's a battle. You yourself, you have to pray for yourself. He can only pray with you, assist you, direct you, and you must follow. Humble yourself and follow his direction. If it's to the end you want to reach, it's not for jokers, like you are joking. If you think that you just come into Fire Nation and boom, tomorrow you will be A, you will be B. No. I, for one, personally, have been hit left, right, and center, but you know what? All the time I'm lifted because I feel like no matter how low I go, I've got a cushion that cushions my life. And when you look at me, you probably look at me and you think, oh my God, she's got A, she's got B, she's living like this, she's living like that. No, it's not like that. Everything you have to work, like everything in your life, including the man of God. If you've seen him, he's a serious man of God. He doesn't take it for granted. With all that grace, he will still be in church. He will stand for 5 hours. Who are you? Who am I? To be sleeping at home so he can pray for me? No. It doesn't work like that. I must put in my 50%. Then he adds his 50, and together we hold on to one another. And for sometimes, even when he's praying, I'm an emotional person. I usually visualize holding his hands literally, or holding his feet literally. And for me, it's not like today, tomorrow, or I have this or I have that. Every day is the same for me. Every day it's a new day. It's a new battle, and I'm ready for it.
Wow. So it's been an amazing experience you've had with this ministry, and I believe you've said a lot of things that are an encouragement to someone who is watching, who maybe thinks life is all about you receive, then it ends there, and so on and so forth. And we thank God for your testimony, and we believe one of these days we'll catch you live right here on Fire One TV. Thank you so much, Mama. Who is that? Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, how are you?
I'm great and all right, and we're just from being immersed in the grace of today's service. Being the first day of the month, you understand how it is. The prophet doesn't take things like a lackadaisically, as he always puts it. In your experience today, how was today's service?
Today's service was great in that, there's one thing that I picked which was very, very cardinal. Most people, they normally think when they become Christians, then life goes so easy. But I've noticed that, the moment you just become born again, then just be rest assured the battles have begun. There are times whereby you get encounters which you can't even imagine. But I thank God with the grace that we are sitting under, that is under Pastor Elijah Kofi King. We've known how to fight battles spiritually, because most of the things that happen in this life, most people that think that they've happened ordinarily, but in fact most of the battles are spiritual. I think that's what I can say.
Wow. So for how long have you been a follower of this ministry?
I think I've been a follower for this ministry for the past 2 years.
2 years. 2 years is quite a a long period of time. There could be somebody who just watched or started watching Fire One TV today. What advice or encouragement can you give such kind of a person?
What I would encourage the new viewers and maybe even the new members, I would say you need to be really focused and you need to take God seriously, because things of God, they don't happen in a minute or in a day or in a month. You really need to be focused and committed, because with my own experience, I've realized that you need to be serious with God's things. You need to be in church almost all the time. We've got Wednesday services, you need to be there, and above all, you need to take God seriously. And there's no way you can scam God. There is no way you can cheat God that today I will behave like this because I want to get this. But in this case, you need to be serious from the bottom of your heart, and I can rest assure you get results. Yes.
Okay, so you followed him for quite a long time, 2 years. 2 years is quite big. Yeah. How has the ministry of the man of God, the prophetic ministry, the word, transformed your life in the past 2 years that you've been a follower?
The ministry has really worked for me, because I remember the time I came into this church, everything about my life was really shaky. Business was bad, my family was in disarray, my marriage was bad. But the moment we started following the man of God, I can attest to that a lot of change has happened in my life. A lot of things have happened in my business, a lot of changes. To be very honest, the time I came to this church, I only had one simple car, which is a Isuzu KB 350, which I drove for 12 years. But immediately I came into this church, I sowed a seed to pastor. A lot of miracles started happening in my life. I bought an S-Class Mercedes-Benz. After that, I bought another Mercedes-Benz, another S400. And after the Mercedes-Benz, I bought a Mercedes-Benz again for my wife. After I bought for my wife, I bought a Toyota Hilux brand new from the showroom. There is more and more and more I can say, but there's been a marvelous, serious miracles I've seen from the man of God.
From your experience, it's been quite an amazing thing that you followed him with loyalty. We've watched or learned from how you've handled him as your spiritual father, and how I believe there's somebody there that thinks you just came in the church, and I believe your own testimony has got a lot of sacrifices that it has taken. There could be somebody who wants to partner with the ministry of the man of God, just like you have partnered with his ministry. What encouragement are you giving them today?
The only encouragement I can give them, like I said earlier on, is that they need to just be focused, and actually they need to learn how to sow a seed in the church and to the man of God, because these things, they don't just happen. Because biblically it's even written that the only area where you can test God is the area of finances. Okay, so I would urge people to actually sow a seed and actually be committed to the things of God. Where there's need to help in the church, help out, and you see the hand of God in your life.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, sir, for your time, and we hope to have you again on Fire One TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.